How are you? Yes. I would like us to look at the internal land forming processes. When you talk about the internal land forming processes, we have the processes that occur within the Earth's surface. We also have external land forming processes. So they take place on the surface of the Earth. External means on the surface of the Earth. Internal means inside the surface of the Earth. So our major concern today is internal land forming processes. So with the internal land forming processes, we have the forces which are responsible for that. And those forces occur due to earth movements. So we have earth movements such as vertical earth movements, and we also have horizontal earth movements. So horizontal earth movements are caused when forces such as compressional, tensional, and shearing take place within the surface of the Earth. So with the compressional forces, they compress. From the word compress, to compress means to do what? To squeeze. So the forces act from opposite direction. The forces act from the opposite direction, as you can see this diagram. So these forces, as they continue compressing, they result to what? To the development of the crack. So that crack that occurs here is what we refer to as what? A fault. So that fault can result to formation of features, physical features, which we shall have to see. Some of them include the escarpments, as well as the Rift Valley, and even mountains. So compressional forces result to the squeezing of the crustal rocks. When you talk of crustal rocks, you mean those rocks that form the surface of the Earth. When you are in grade 7, you are able to discuss the structure of the Earth, and specifically you discussed, can you keep quiet? You discussed the internal structure of the Earth, whereby you are able to look at the lithosphere, which is the earth crust, the centrosphere, which is the centrosphere, or the barysphere, which is the core, then the mesosphere, which is the mantle. So you discuss that. So here we only look at the crustal rocks, which form the features that we do see on the surface of the Earth. Now, horizontal movement is also caused by what? By tensional forces. So those tensional forces cause the stretching. They cause the stretching of the crustal rocks, which means they pull away from one another. The rocks tend to pull away from one another or from each other. There is this diagram I have drawn for you, just to see that, just to do what? To demonstrate. So we have the rocks that form the earth crust. Eventually, without this, not eventually, but initially without this crack developing, we normally have the normal earth crust. So that normal earth crust, when we have forces acting on it, the so-called tensional forces, they cause stretching. So they pull away from each other. So you're stretching, resulting to a point of weakness, as it is for this. So that point of weakness that we call the fault also develops as these forces continue pulling away from one another. Hence, resulting to this final structure, which appear this way. This is not the final, but the second last structure. Now, as these forces continue, we normally have this happening. This block on the either side, as you drew initially in your books, these rocks on the left, on the right hand side, normally does what? Normally sinks or drops to the lower level, as there is enough space to accommodate the rock to the right. Now, we also have shear forces. The shear forces, they occur when we have horizontal earth movements taking different directions in the interior of the earth. So the rocks move in different directions inside the earth's surface. So as they move inside the earth's surface, we have that point of weakness that will also develop. So it is that point of weakness that will develop that we shall have the rocks sliding past each other. So that causes shearing or tearing, because they cause shearing or tearing as a processes. So what you should know is that we have horizontal earth movements, and these horizontal earth movements are normally caused by the three forces. One of the forces is compressional forces, which do compress the crust or rocks. So they get squeezed together. And as they continue getting squeezed, we shall have the rock on the right hand side, which will be forced to move upward, to slide over the other along that plane, along the line of weakness which develops. This rock will tend to move upward, so as to do it, to get space for it to be suspended or to be hanged. So for it to be hanged there, we shall have again other forces that will support it. So from underground, we have upthrust forces. Then the one that will be below will be having forces that we call down thrust, supporting it there. So as the earth movements continue, the structure that will have resulted remains the way it is. We also have tensional forces, which I have said that they cause stretching of the earth crust, and as they cause the stretching of the earth crust, with the time that block of rock on the right hand side will sink to the lower level, and as it sinks to the lower level, then it will form a feature like the Rift Valley. Then we have seen this shearing, which normally occurs when those forces inside the earth do what? Move to different direction. As they move, we have that plane, that line of weakness that develops, and that is where now we have the sliding of rocks taking place. As you have seen, up and kuna fault, and that is why where sliding takes place. Now, we also have vertical earth movements. As the word goes or suggests, vertical means the forces act vertically inside the earth. Okay? Vertical. You know vertical forces? Vertical forces, they are in this manner. So, vertical, that is in that manner. So, they take place vertically, vertically. So with the vertical forces, they cause, those that occur from the interior of the earth, they cause what we call upwarping. Upwarping. Can you say upwarping, class? Upwarping. Upwarping. So with the upwarping, it means we shall have the rock that rises over other rocks that form the surface of the earth. So some rocks rise as others remain in their normal position. So they cause upwarping. We have rocks which are lifted above the general land surface. So they cause upwarping. When you are looking at these forces that we call compressional forces, listen, with the compressional forces, you realize that you have that area that when we are looking at this kind of mountain, because we said that these compressional forces also result to this mountain that we call folding mountain, which you cannot delve in it deeper because it's not part of the main course. So we have this part that has risen. This part has risen from the general surface. So though it occurred as a result of what? Of compressional, but we have some area that has risen. So you're rising. You're rising up, you'll form anticline. Like when it comes to now vertical earth movements, the rising result what we call upwarping. Now it rises above the general land surface. It rises above the general land surface. So something like this will be formed. It may rise up from the general land surface. It may rise up. When you look at the Lake Victoria, when you are in grade 6, you discuss about the formation of Lake Victoria. Lake Victoria formed as a result of what? Of some areas of land upwarping while others downwarping. So with the downwarping, some rocks do what? Sink. They sink, downwarping. Some rocks sink. So as they sink, they form a flat area underground. So that flat area underground, like now for the case of Lake Victoria, is the one that that existed to form a depression. So downwarping forms a depression. Upwarping forms a reasonable feature, like now there such areas like anticlines for this case. Like it can form some other features which you'll have to look at when you'll be looking at what? At advanced geography in senior school, whereby you look at features like percolithy, features like lopolithy, that normally form as a result of those forces. So what I want you to know is this: with the vertical forces, they just result to what? To upwarping of the land, which means some areas get raised up. Along with the same forces cause downwarping of the land, which means some areas drop as compared to the general land surface. Alafu, they also cause what we call tilting. Can you say tilting? Tilting. So when it comes to tilting, you realize that it means that that is the displacement from the normal position. Those rocks are displaced from their normal position. So vertical earth movements cause tilting of the land. They also cause upwarping of the land, whereby we have some areas which get rising. Alafu, with the tilting, some areas get displaced. Alafu, upwarping, some areas get risen from the normal surrounding surface of the land. I believe we shall accompany that with the notes, especially for the vertical earth movements. because we have not discussed that. Unless you have a question to ask, and unless you have clarification to seek for the vertical earth movement, I beg to stop there.